Me 24 meters and my girlfriend 26F fought over presents. So my girlfriend complained about all the presents I got her for Christmas while she got me nothing. She is broke but has money in a portfolio from her grandpa who is rich, and she has cash lying around her house here and there. We've been in a relationship for almost 2 years and she kept saying everything I got her was bad. I'm returning the Vans I got her. I got her a beanie, chocolate, baking utensils that she asked for, and a nice necklace. I felt bad she didn't like anything even though she didn't get me anything, so I ordered her a pair of Doc Martens which she picked out. Today she has been arguing with me, saying I ignored her all day, even thought I was at work, and it was 11 a.m. when she texted me that. She then continued to talk about how the presents I got her were bad. This really upset me. She got me nothing. I said to her, you moved money from your grandpa's portfolio so you can DoorDash yourself food but couldn't take $50 out to make me happy. She then went on saying I should be impressing her, not the other way around. She then said that she doesn't want to do anything for anybody, including me. How would you deal with this? I would tell her how sorry you are, take all of the items to the store for return. Keep the money and break up. I mean, pretty obviously, break up. Why would you ever want to continue dating someone who says she doesn't want to do anything for anybody, including you? Return the Vans and the Docs. Return the necklace and baking tools and the beanie. Eat the chocolate. Break up. She flat out told you she refuses to do anything for anybody. She's not capable of being an equal partner in a relationship and won't show you the same levels of consideration you obviously show her. Why would you want to be in such a one-sided transactional relationship? You're not her sugar daddy and she isn't your sugar baby. Have some self-respect and leave. I bought my husband roses on National Boyfriend Day while we were dating simply to show him men also deserve flowers just because. Impress her with a first-class ticket to the curb. This behavior did not begin in December 25, 2024. Why are you in this relationship? Son, M22, threatening to cut off contact with me, M65, over med school tuition. I paid all of my son's expenses to get his undergrad degree and he is now interested in medical school. Medical school will cost around $400,000 all in for living expenses and tuition. He is an excellent student but won't get any aid since I make too much money. I informed my son that he would need to take out loans for medical school since I am on the verge of retirement. I have around $2 mail in cash and another $1 mail in equity in my home, so I could do it but would feel pinched. All of my friends who are doctors took out loans for themselves and were able to pay them back quickly. He has threatened to cut off all contact if I don't pay the costs, and it honestly feels like huge entitlement and extortion to me. Thoughts on dealing with this? It's extortion. You shouldn't sacrifice your retirement here. Is he going to pay you back or cover your mortgage once he graduates? What's in it for you? If this is who he is, not much you can do at this point. Hopefully he grows up. Wow, I'm sorry, but it seems like your son is way too entitled and sees you more like an ATM. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You have already paid and given him an excellent start in life, better than what most parents can afford. He should be incredibly grateful. If he cuts all contact because you did not give more money, then that's all that you were to him. Sad face. Your money is your money. You can't take it with you in your grave, so please use it to enjoy your retirement. It's for your retirement and for enjoying life. Your son will have to take a loan like all others, but surely he can pay that back. I am a retired doctor. I retired at 50 with plenty of funds. I took out loans and incurred a large debt. I easily paid it all off very quickly. Student loans are a solid investment for a doctor. If your son is making threats if he is not given a free medical education, I fear you have raised an entitled boy. Residency will rid him of his illogical sense of entitlement. If you placate him in this way, you will cause him irreparable harm as a man. 1. How does it get to this point without having discussed this? 2. He should take out a loan. It eats far too much into your retirement to fund this. If he doesn't think it will pay off, then maybe he should go to a less expensive medical school or pursue another career. He can apply for scholarships. He can get loans. He could join the military and have them pay for his medical school in exchange for so many years of service. He could get loans, then work for the Public Health Service or Indian Health Service or other public service and have his loans forgiven after 10 years of service. He has so many options. Tell him if that's how he feels, you understand, and that you're sure he'll understand that it's totally reasonable to disinherit anyone who has cut off contact with their own dad over money. I, 22F, feel like my boyfriend, 25M, always tries to humble me. I'm not sure if I'm imagining it. Recently, I was volunteering at an animal shelter with a few friends and my BF. We befriended a group of girls who complimented me and told me I look Brazilian. I didn't know what to make of it but assumed it was a compliment since they were complimenting my eyes just before saying this. I did ask my friends what they think the girls meant and they immediately said, They called you sexy because Brazilians are so sexy. My boyfriend interjected saying, no, Brazilians are overweight and dark-skinned, so they basically called you ugly lol. All of us looked at him in surprise because it sounded almost bitter. And it was also such a strange way to interpret that statement, because why would you immediately assume a sweet group of girls would insult you when it is far more realistic and possible that they were being sweet and complimentary? I also am just so confused, because why would he even assume that? Is it because he subconsciously thinks I'm ugly? I know that's not true because I get told I'm conventionally attractive and have a great body, which I've worked hard for. I've been thinking of other situations and he does this constantly. I have been through a lot in my life and I am incredibly proud of how I've persevered. When I feel good about myself, he makes it a point to say things like, don't let it get to your head. When I ask him why he said that, he backtracks and says stuff like, I don't want you to get distracted by your success and fail, so I'm just keeping you grounded. I am an incredibly reserved person who does not flex my accomplishments in any way. I share it with very few people I love, so when they don't share my excitement, and actively try to humble me, I get hurt. I also feel like this might be a misunderstanding between my boyfriend and I. He grew up in a somewhat toxic home and I wonder if he actually does think he is helping me and grounding me. What advice do you guys have for me? It's not a misunderstanding. He meant to tear you down. Don't stay with someone like this. Read about negging. He's purposefully trying to destroy your self-esteem so you won't leave him even if he treats you horribly. He is emotionally abusive and it will escalate if you don't leave this relationship. So Brazilians are ugly to him because they're fat and dark-skinned. Cough, that's racist, cough cough, and demeaning cough. I'm far from a supermodel and my boyfriend tells me I'm beautiful and sexy every chance he gets. You deserve someone who does the same for you. Your boyfriend sucks. Adding that, by the way, this stems from insecurity on your boyfriend's part. Deep down he must realize you're out of his league, so he's tearing you down in an effort to attempt to bring you to his level and make you believe you can't do better than him. Don't let him do that. You can and will find someone way better. Get the ick and run away girly. No one will try to ruin your life harder than a man that hates you. I am an old woman with gray frizzy hair and wrinkles who had kids and breastfed for 4 years. I am far from a supermodel. My husband still enthusiastically tells me I am beautiful and sexy virtually daily. The boyfriend I dumped when I was 20 actually said, I can't believe I fell for a plain-looking girl. And also told me I wasn't smart enough to pursue my dream career. Free yourself to find someone who understands your worth. This one is showing very poor judgment. You don't want to partner with a fool. It's not rocket science to refrain from insulting your girlfriend. My 25F friend, 25F, ended her relationship because of me and I feel awful. A few days ago, there was an incident with my friend's boyfriend where he got into bed with me, thinking I was her, and touched me inappropriately. It was a party and we'd all been drinking, and I ended up sleeping in their bed since they passed out in another area of the apartment. I made sure to tell them I got into the bed, but once again they were out cold, so I don't know if they heard. When they both came into the room to get ready to sleep, I asked multiple times if they wanted me to move and she replied saying I was fine. They both got in and he got in on my side and touched me, put his lips on my neck despite me saying who I was, that I was not her out loud a few times. After a couple minutes, he stopped and said sorry, but it sort of freaked me out because she and I have completely opposite body types and appearances, plus I said who I was out loud multiple times. The next morning, he told her a version that minimized what happened and apologized to me for hugging me. I didn't know how much exactly he told her, so I started feeling like I was keeping something dirty from her. I asked a mutual friend if I should tell her, and eventually I did in the most neutral terms possible. To be honest, she was very happy in the relationship, so I didn't expect them to break up over what could have been an accident. She asked if we could talk so her boyfriend could apologize properly, and I didn't want to because I really just wanted to put it away once again. The only reason I told her is because I felt like I shouldn't keep it from her if it was strange enough for me to feel this conflicted about it. I ended up getting frustrated because he was pushing to apologize over the phone or in person, and I was starting to feel overwhelmed, anxious at the thought of talking to him, meeting him. She said some stuff in defense of him. He regrets it, is in pain because of the misunderstanding, which I understand but also wasn't super ready to hear yet. Towards the end of that whole thing, I ended up saying that it felt more like she wanted to have a conversation about defending him than one about hearing me out and respecting my wishes. I ended up reiterating that I didn't have any expectations for him to make an apology or for her to break up with him, I just needed time. But the message might have come off as aggressive because at that point, I was really irritated. The next day we started talking again, and she was essentially like, I really want to figure out if this is all a misunderstanding and figure out if you can forgive him, and if not, I'll break up with him. To be honest, I didn't want her to break up the relationship because of me. I said that I would call her on the phone as long as it was her alone, but on my end, I also had our mutual friend there because I tend to minimize my feelings, and I'd already started to minimize the situation. She asked me a few questions about how long the interaction was and how it happened, physically. Towards the end, I think our mutual friend got frustrated and she pretty much said that regardless of his intent, this is something that shouldn't have happened. In the end, my friend said that the only option she felt like she had was to break up with him. I guess I'm just really conflicted because it feels like she was pressured into breaking up with him when that wasn't my intention. She said she values me above any relationship, which makes me really happy. Part of me feels like I should have just not said anything, like I was overthinking the whole situation and made it out to be more than it was. Like, maybe I should have just forgiven him and said it was water under the bridge for the sake of her happiness. I didn't want to ruin her relationship. Our mutual friend says that they had other issues too, but this is the first big issue and it happened after I met him. How can I even begin to navigate this situation? I want to support her, but I feel like I'm the one who hurt her in the first place. I'm giving her some distance for now. Edit. They joined me in their bed. I was there first and slept alone for a while. He doesn't live in the apartment, so it's pretty normal for her friends to sleep in her bed. Your friend is an adult. She can make her own decisions. She has chosen to break up with her boyfriend over this, and you have nothing to feel guilty about. Maybe you would have chosen to forgive him if he were your BF. But he wasn't, so it's not your call. She made a different decision than you would have or that you wanted her to make, and that's okay. Let it go, op. If anything, you should feel grateful you have a close friend who trusted your version of events from that night. She didn't accuse you of leading him on and finding this underhanded way to cheat with him. That's how some people would have reacted after you told them what happened. If I were her, I'd be sad that I chose a friend over my partner and then that same friend distanced themselves from me for it. Why is everything deleted in this thread? Over 30 replies and seemingly none deleted by mods? She broke up with him because of his choices, not because of you. You're taking on responsibility here that's not yours to take. Honestly, op, you're stupid for putting yourself in that situation in the first place. 1. Everyone in the situation is intoxicated, and you knowingly consciously choose to sleep in the couple's bed. 2. Said couple comes to their room to sleep. Instead of giving them privacy by going somewhere else to sleep, you ask if you should move. Who wants to share a bed with their friend's boyfriend? And said friend face with raised eyebrow. 3. You end up sharing the bed with the couple. Why not move so your friend is in the middle? Why didn't your friend move you? What a mess. I would never want to share a bed with a third person, let alone have to sleep next to them. That's just stupid. Why would you not readjust so that you were sleeping next to your friend, instead of her BF? I feel like that's just common sense so that he would not be sleeping in between you guys. I'm someone who rolls around in my sleep, and if a drunk rolled to the wrong got me in this much trouble, it'd be pissed.